Tim Walz appointee murderer has been charged now with some crimes. Second-degree murder and attempted murder. Second degree? How is that possible? You don't charge him with first-degree murder. Are you saying this wasn't premeditated? What, he did it on the spur of the moment?
I think that'll get updated as we move along.
Hopefully, because that's ridiculous. Also, there was a chance for a police officer to stop this guy before he attacked and killed the second senator, right? He'd already shot and severely wounded the first two.
Yes.
Then he was sitting in his vehicle.
At the third home.
At the third home.
So at the first home, the state rep was not home. The second home, he injured the couple.
Mm-hmm.
The third home, this is where this story picks up.
So a police officer approached him while he was sitting in the vehicle?
Yes. The police officer reported that the individual sitting in the black SUV was a white, bald male looking straight forward. The officer tried to speak with the man, but he continued staring ahead and did not respond. The officer drove away.
Obviously, then you're just going to drive away, right?
Public officials, two residents, saw no sign of distress.
Unbelievable.
Waited until additional law enforcement joined her. By the time they did, the dark SUV has left the area to the fourth home.
Yeah, that was...
So she approached. He wouldn't speak to her, just kept staring straight ahead.
Yes.
And so she just left.
She just
okay.
left.
He doesn't want to talk, so I'm just going to go.
And by the way, she described the vehicle as a police-style light bar equipped with that resembles a squad car. How about you say, hey, sir.
Hey, what are you doing?
Identify yourself.
Right.
Yeah, what jurisdiction are you with?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
And we have images from her dash cam and everything. And yes, it does look like a police car. But if by this time you're doing a wellness check on public official number 2, everything for me should say, okay, let me check this vehicle out.
Yeah, I should be on high alert. Especially when the officer drove up and saw the fake cop car, I don't know if that officer looked at the license plate to see that it just read police as the license plate.
Is that not official?
That's what his license plate
mistakes.
was. Yeah.
A lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
Not good.
Hindsight, of course, is 20/20, but that does sound negligent.
Yep.
How do you not at least push that a little bit further? You've already had a shooting. She must have known about that, right?
Yes, because
did she know about
because it? Now I'm having an issue because it was a wellness check because by the time they're
on high alert.
The dots, they realize, wait, someone is targeting a representative. Let's go check public official 2.
Yep.
Wow.
And just taking that extra initiative to just say, hey, let me make sure that 2 people are dead and a family is forever shattered.
Right.
You could have stopped it right there. And again, it's an impossible job to be a police officer.
Yes.
But
come
you
on.
read something like this and
there's
you
some
think,
obvious things.
it's your job to be suspicious, right, officer? Especially when you're on heightened alert.
I will tell you, every time I have gotten pulled over, especially when it's dark, the cops always ask me, where are you headed? Where are you going?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Yes.
Where'd you come from? Where do you live? They just always do that. Now, you're telling me when there's a heightened situation going on where somebody's been shot, you approach a vehicle that looks like a police car, staring forward, won't answer you, won't respond, and you just leave it alone and go back to your car and drive off. All right. Strange.
Very strange.
Just so many weird elements to this. Very bizarre. The assassin also texted his family on the night of the shooting. I guess it was the morning after the
morning,
shooting.
yes.
Afterwards.
Yeah. And he texted, Dad went to war last night.
This is some weird cat, man.
No kidding. This was after he had killed the state rep and her husband, severely wounded the other ones by pumping 9 rounds, 8 and 9 rounds into their bodies. Fortunately, they survived. They continue to recover. But how weird is that? Dad went to war last night. I don't want to say more because I don't want to implicate anybody. Okay.
Yeah, he left, what, 10 grand?
10 grand passports.
All sorts of stuff for them to
Guns,
help her get out
ammo.
of Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My gosh.
He's got 5 kids.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Wow.
5 kids, and I believe
All with
they're
the same woman?
teenagers. I don't know. But I believe to be between teenagers to elementary school.
Man. So, U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson was part of a press conference that updated the killings in Minnesota, and apparently there was no manifesto.
That came from initially.
Can you identify the potential motive here? It has been widely reported that the list, his hit list, contained names of people who are abortion rights supporters. And also, can you please release the names of the 2 other targeted victims who were fortunate to get away?
As I said, with respect to the other 2 potential victims, I think it's up to them whether they want to publicly identify themselves. As I said, it wouldn't surprise me if they do. They're elected officials, but that's their right. Obviously, they may have families and children and privacy interests that they need to sort through. So I'll let them do that. With respect to the potential motive, let me say this. There's been a lot of press coverage and speculation and discussion of a manifesto. I've seen nothing like a Unabomber-style manifesto in his writings. He had many, many notebooks full of plans, lists of names, surveillance, efforts that he took to surveil and locate the home addresses and family members' relationships with these elected officials. But I have not seen anything involving some sort of political screed or manifesto that would clearly identify what motivated him. Obviously, his primary motive was to go out and murder people. Now, they were all elected officials. They were all Democrats. Beyond that, I think it's just way too speculative for anyone who's reviewed these materials to know and to say what was motivating him in terms of ideology or specific issues. There's a lot of...
For abortion rights supporters?
There were some abortion rights supporters, I believe, on the list. But again, there was dozens and dozens and dozens of names on, hundreds of pages of documents that were recovered with his writings on them.
Did he confess and give more details after he was apprehended last night?
I'm not going to comment on that at this time.
Yeah.
So is this next one about what we just talked about, the police officer that did nothing when she should have?
We just walked through the whole thing.
But the roommate was talking again as well.
Oh, gosh. Are we going to make it through 2.5 minutes of this greaser?
We'll see.
He's interesting.
Okay.
Can you talk about his politics a little bit? I know that you had some discussions. I just wanted to talk.
Well, everyone's calling him a Democrat. He's not a Democrat.
Okay.
He would be offended if people called him a Democrat.
You don't want to do that?
But he, because of this board thing he was on for Governor Walz, it wasn't to serve. He was just serving the community.
Okay.
But I can't believe a political issue would cause him to do such a thing.
Did he ever bring up the senator or the representative who were targeted?
Like I was saying, no, he never talked about them. I didn't know those people. I didn't recognize their names.
Any politicians he mentioned?
Well, he mentioned Nancy Pelosi. He didn't like Jim Walz. Jim Walz? Didn't like Jim Biden.
Okay, hold on. The guy doesn't know the name of the governor or the former president. Jim Walz, Jim Biden, didn't like them. This guy, okay, this is so...
And again, the whole arrangement with where he lived and with whom is so weird. Maybe he and his wife were estranged. I just haven't heard that part of it.
I've not heard that either.
Have you heard that?
No, I've not heard that either.
So he's got a roommate, but he also has a wife and children.
And can we talk
I don't
about the
know.
roommate just for a second? I mean, Saturday, I understand he was caught off guard. He's sitting on his front stoop and everything.
Yes.
He's had 2 days to take a shower, maybe clean up a little bit. But good grief, man.
Maybe that is cleaned up for him.
Maybe that's
I was just
cleaned
going to
up.
say that's his good shirt. That's his good red shirt. But I think he loses credibility when he calls Tim Jim.
Yeah.
Jim
Yes, he does.
Walz
It's not even
and Jim Biden.
Because it's not even a like Timmy Waltz, Tampon Tim
no.
kind of nickname.
No.
You say Jim and then Jim Biden? No, sorry, bro.
Okay.
Strange.
It's very strange.
Another weird element. Here he is, I guess, preaching. We have heard that he's sort of a pastor as well.
Yeah.
And it's in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the DRC, where he was pastoring. And here's one of his sermons.
And I'm just as excited about Jesus.
Et je suis juste excité
right
de
here,
Jésus.
right now.
Jusqu'à présent, même maintenant.
And when I get excited,
Et quand je suis excité,
I want to dance.
je veux danser.
And what Jesus did for me.
Ce que Jésus a fait pour moi.
Jesus is God.
Wow.
Jésus est Dieu.
Almighty God.
C'est le Dieu
He
puissant.
saved my life.
Il a sauvé ma vie.
I'm excited about God.
Je suis excité de Dieu.
And I want to worship Him.
Et c'est pourquoi je l'adore.
Because He's coming again. And he's
Jésus il
excited.
revient encore.
And He's got plans. He's
Il
got
a
plans
de plans
and purposes
et le dessein
for each one of you
pour chacun de vous ici.
and for me.
Et pour moi aussi.
Cool. There he is.
Some weird stuff.
There he is.
So he went from being so excited about Jesus that he had to dance about it back in 2021 to murdering 2 people in cold blood. Pretty sure that's not Jesus related. That's,
I was just going to look it up on my Bible.
Were you going to?
So
okay.
Don't worry about it because it's not Jesus.
No.
Okay.
I think we can just assume that's not part of being excited about Jesus.
Oh, okay.